90 Day Fiancé Season 11. Mina doesn't deserve her villain edit. I think Mark and his daughter Jordan are setting her up for failure. 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 star Aminata Mack caused a stir when she called her husband Mark Bessette's daughter, Jordan, a snake. Mark, 58, is a pilot who met Mina, 35, during a trip to Paris. The two fell in love and soon welcomed a daughter, Maria. Mina finally received her K-1 visa and moved with Maria to Mark's small New Hampshire town, beginning the 90-day countdown to their wedding. But after years of anticipation, the couple's reunion wasn't everything they had hoped. Mina was quick to voice her displeasure with Mark's home and the lack of amenities in his town. The situation worsened further when Mark revealed his daughter didn't approve of his relationship. As Mina and Jordan came face-to-face during a family beach trip, their attempt to patch things up turned into an explosive argument. Mina told Jordan she wasn't welcome at the wedding, which solidified her presentation as a high-maintenance villain. However, I'm convinced Mina's villain edit is unfair, and it's Mark and Jordan who are in the wrong. Mina's dealing with immense personal stress. Her heart is breaking for the son she left behind in Paris. Mina's first episodes of 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 painted her in an unflattering light. She seemed dissatisfied with everything Mark did and came across as snobby and condescending. However, I don't think it's fair to judge Mina so harshly when she's in a vulnerable position. It's easy to forget the culture shock one can experience when moving to a new country. Mina is dependent on Mark, and she's struggling to adapt to an unfamiliar environment. Furthermore, Mina had to leave her 9-year-old son, Clayton, behind in Paris due to unexpected issues with his passport. Mina faced the heartbreaking choice of whether to leave her son behind or deny Maria the chance to reunite with her father. As Mina acclimated to small-town life in the United States, she was also dealing with guilt and heartbreak over leaving Clayton behind. This information made me reconsider Mina's actions. While she sometimes comes across as difficult, I believe Mina is dealing with a heavy emotional burden that's causing her to act out. Mark was completely unprepared for Mina and Maria's arrival. He didn't even buy essential baby items when Mina first arrived in New Hampshire. I was struck by how poorly prepared Mark was to welcome his fiancée and daughter. He still had pictures of highwife around the house, which made Mina feel like a guest in another woman's home. Mark postponed installing baby gates until the last minute despite having ample time to baby-proof. He even failed to buy necessities for Maria, such as diapers and a high chair. He took Mina to a rustic furniture store, which had no high chairs, and then to a gas station for groceries. Mark's attempts to remedy the situation only proved his incompetence. He took Mina to a rustic furniture store, which had no high chairs, and then to a gas station for groceries. It's no wonder Mina was unimpressed, yet she was made to seem stuck up. I think Mark was entirely to blame when he easily could have ordered items for Maria ahead of time or ventured further to a store that would meet his family's needs. His failure to prepare shouldn't reflect poorly on Mina, who deserves to be accommodated after leaving everything behind to be with him. Mark stirred up tension between Mina and Jordan. Mina's entering a hostile environment. Mina was already feeling unwelcome and uncomfortable when Mark broached the topic of his daughter, Jordan. The bad blood between the women began years earlier when Jordan flew to Paris to attend Maria's baptism, only for Mina to arrive 3 hours late. Jordan also had serious doubts about the 18-year age gap between Mark and Mina. She thought it was inappropriate for her father to have more children at his age, considering Mina was closer to Jordan's age than his own, and she accused Mina of using him. After Mark and Mina argue about her relationship with Jordan, Mark makes the mistake of relaying details of the private conversation to Jordan. He betrayed Mina's trust and further contributed to the tension within the family. As her reunion with Jordan neared, Mina was thrown into a hostile situation on top of her stress. Mark failed to mediate between Mina and Jordan, remarking, "I know I started it, but you guys need to fix it." Jordan is out of line for interfering in Mark's relationship. I think she and Mark are the real villains. When Mina and Jordan came face to face during the family's beach vacation, their relationship went from bad to worse. Jordan blamed Mina for Mark's decision to have more children, which resulted in Mina calling her a snake. Both women stormed off without a resolution. While Jordan's frustration is understandable, it's not her place to decide whether her father should have more kids. I'm convinced her main problem with Mark and Mina's relationship is the age difference, and she would find any excuse to dislike Mina. Jordan needs to work through her insecurity about being replaced with Mark, not his fiancé. After Mark's lackluster welcome and Jordan making her a scapegoat, it's no wonder Mina hasn't always come across as pleasant on 90 Day Fiancé. She's been put in an impossible position, and the blame should be on Mark and Jordan, not Mina. 90 Day Fiancé. I think I know the real reason Aminata Mack doesn't want a prenup with Mark Bessette. 90 Day Fiancé star Aminata Mack is refusing to sign a prenup, and I'm certain of the reason why she's so upset with Mark Bessette. Mina, from France, had moved to the US to marry Mark from West Ossipee, New Hampshire. Mark is a professional pilot, and the 59-year-old was on a work trip in Paris where he met Mina. Mark and Mina have a 39-year age gap, which was the red flag Mark's family, including his daughter Jordan Bessette, had noticed. Still, Mina and Mark had a daughter together who joined the couple in America in season 11. Mark's daughter had a bad impression of Mina ever since she met her in France, and Mina showed up late for her own daughter's baptism party. Jordan had doubts about Mina's intentions and made them known. I think Mina probably didn't expect the stunt that Jordan pulled off during a family gathering. Mina had no one in the US except the man she'd moved there with, and was taken aback when Mark's family lined up and accused her of being a gold digger, as Mark couldn't even stand his ground while trying to please both parties. Mina knows that Mark's family disapproves of her. Mina has called Jordan a snake. Mark took Mina and Mari to Florida for a family reunion, but things started off rocky when Mina uninvited Jordan from the upcoming wedding. Mina worried that Mark's family might treat her the same way Jordan did. I was surprised when, unlike his daughter, Mark's parents welcomed Mina into the family with open arms. However, Mark's brother Rich didn't warm to her, sensing a princess vibe from Mina during their time in Paris, and kept his distance. Later, Jordan asked Mark if a prenuptial agreement was in the works, and Mark confirmed that it was part of the plan. Mina has second thoughts about marrying into the family. Mark's family has already decided that Mina is a villain. Mina concluded that even Mark thought she came to the US for his money, just like his family had assumed. Mark assured Mina he didn't think that, but he still wanted a prenup. He told Mina, sometimes, because of our age difference, it's common, and because he needed to protect his assets. Mina was clearly blindsided by Mark's announcement, and I know she wasn't wrong when she found it disgusting. She was hurt by him thinking she would take away his possessions and that a divorce was unavoidable in their relationship. Moreover, it should have been a private conversation with only Mina and Mark. Jordan once again was starting trouble. She brought it up because she's an instigator and loves creating drama. Jordan had wanted to make peace with Mina before heading to the reunion, only for her to crush Mina with the prenup discussion by catching her unaware. Then, there was the fact that Mark decided to agree with his daughter instead of telling Jordan that she was crossing lines. Mark did not defend Mina in front of his family. He had wanted to get back with his ex-girlfriend when he was dating Mina. If Mark truly saw Mina as his future wife, he needed to stand up for her, even if it meant telling Jordan that her questions were intrusive and that discussions about a prenup should be private between him and Mina. Mark had taken responsibility for bringing Mina to the US, and it was his duty to defend her. Unfortunately, neither his family's actions nor Mark's own made Mina feel welcome. He failed to show support, especially since they weren't even married yet. I was furious. Mark should have protected his would-be wife and addressed his daughter's spoiled behavior. In a preview for the next episode of 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, Mina is shown discovering a shocking secret about her fiancé. It looks like Mina will be meeting one of Mark's friends, who tells Mina she's shocked that Mina is in the US. The woman informs Mina that Mark was still trying to get back together with his ex-girlfriend Jade when he was also talking to Mina. The confused and angry Mina decides to meet Jade in person to make sure that the wedding is not a game. 90 Day Fiancé, I'll admit it. Aminata Mack reminds me a lot of Jasmine Pineda. Will Mark Bessette suffer the same fate as Gino? As I'm watching 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 and getting to know Aminata Mack aka Mina, I can't help but find similarities between her and Jasmine Pineda. Mina is a new cast member in the 90 Day Fiancé universe. Mina stars alongside Mark Bessette from West Ossipee, New Hampshire. The Parisian woman is glamorous and gorgeous just like Jasmine, but there's more than just their physical qualities that make Mina and Jasmine feel like the same person. Jasmine was first seen in Before the 90 Days Season 5 with Gino Palazzolo. Like Mina, Jasmine preferred her life back in Panama over Michigan. She missed the sunny weather and also hated being apart from her family, including her children. Mina revealed she was facing a similar situation in her debut episode. Mina and Mark have a large age gap. Jasmine was 18 years younger than Gino. As a private jet pilot, Mark was in Paris for work. He was going to grab a drink and unwind after the trip and ran into Mina, who changed the course of his life. He had locked eyes with Mina in a restaurant. 58-year-old Mark didn't know why the 35-year-old woman was interested in him, but Mark observed that they had a connection. They dated long distance for 2 years. Mark didn't like going back to the US all the time for work, but things had just clicked and he asked himself what he was waiting for. Mark proposed to Mina and 6 months later, she revealed she was pregnant. While this is one thing that Gino wished had happened between him and Jasmine, their age gap concerns were similar to those of Mark and Mina. Gino and Jasmine have an age gap of 18 years. There was always the question of why Jasmine chose to be with an older, awkward man when she could have easily been with someone her own age. Jasmine's intentions were questioned. Did she use Gino to come to America for a green card? I think so. I recently read a comment by Gino where he revealed that Jasmine had her green card for over a year now. Jasmine has also been with her current boyfriend, Matt, for more than a year. Jasmine may have decided to leave Gino as soon as she got her green card. She is now with a man who is her age, suggesting her age gap with Gino didn't concern her because she never loved him and wished to eventually spend her life with a younger man, if not more successful, than her husband. Mina has left her son behind in France. Jasmine has been accused of abandoning her kids in Panama. Having a kid was never something Mark had expected. Mina gave birth to their daughter Maria in Paris. Mark spent 2 years shuffling between the US, France, and multiple other places. Sometimes he would be gone for 10 days and at times for weeks due to his hectic lifestyle. Mark introduced his daughter, Jordan, who lives in Florida. While Gino never had any children from his first marriage, Jasmine had 2 sons, and Mina was a mom to 1 son when she met Mark. Mina moved to West Ossipee in 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 Episode 2. Mina had lived in Paris all her life. She was already missing her home and culture and was sad about having lost her son. Mina has a son named Clayton from a former relationship. He is 9 years old. Clayton faced some complications in his visa process and his passport didn't arrive on time for him to come with Mina to America. Mina sent Clayton to live with a family friend in Paris until his visa was processed. We can't do anything but wait. Mina was hurting because she had sent her son Clayton to her sister because she didn't have a choice and her visa would have expired. Her son told her that he hoped he would come back to her. He told her he hoped she didn't lose him. He wondered if his mother preferred Maria over him. I have a feeling that like Jasmine's sons, Clayton will also not be coming to America for a long time. Regarding Jasmine, she has not brought her kids to America as she indicated to them, leaving me to wonder if Mina will do the same given the circumstances. Mina doesn't want to live in New Hampshire. Mina saw pictures of Mark's ex-wife in the house. Mina admitted that she didn't feel happy in the US with Mark and Maria if Clayton wasn't with her. She did not feel complete without her son. However, Mina admitted that it was better for them that she was in America. While Mina admitted that Mark's house was big, she also observed that it was so big that it felt empty. Mina wondered if she should learn crochet to keep herself occupied for when Mark went off to work. When they walked into Clayton's room, Mina saw that Mark still had a family photo there showing hi wife. Mina thought Mark should have been more careful and gotten rid of it as a sign of respect to her. I recall Jasmine coming across Gino's ex-wife's old things in his house and reacting the same way. She said she didn't like feeling stuck in the house. Mark assured her they would change things by getting new furniture and trying the Parisian style. However, Mina noted that they needed to move to the city. She thought the house was vintage and all the things she needed to change. She told Mark she didn't want to stay there, and she gave him a 6-month ultimatum. Are Mark and Mina still together after 90 Day Fiancé Season 11? Where is Mina living now? Mina didn't want to live in a house where she wouldn't be happy. She said she would be able to thrive there, and the same could be said about her kids as well. Mina confessed that if she had a chance she would have left the next day without regrets. She was the boss of the house, after all, a conjecture that Jasmine often liked to push. Mina's Instagram confirms that she is still with Mark. The 90 Day Fiancé star has mentioned NH as her location in her bio. It remains to be seen if she was able to move into a house she liked instead of living in Mark's bachelor pad. In any case, I'm sensing Mina is gearing up to become a controversial figure just like Jasmine.